So today I decided that we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the automotive industry. As you guys know, my main channel, Derek Brown Productions, was established about 7 years ago now, and I never really talked about where I started, how I got to where I am, and how the automotive industry essentially changed my life forever. So Doe Squad, sit back, relax, drop a like up on this video. Happy New Year, everybody. Can't forget that. And hopefully everyone's setting some awesome goals, and I'm praying for you all that you reach these goals, and we're going to work towards them together, because I have some new goals myself, such as my brand new business that is now officially live to the public, and that is Defined Social. I was about 16, 17 years old when I first started getting into cars. I was obviously in high school, and my best friend, Shane Thompson at the time, he was the first one to kind of jump and get a Mustang. So he ended up getting, I want to say it was a 1996 Mustang GT, and from that day forward, I was instantly hooked because it was a V8, it did have an exhaust, and it was a stick shift. And back then, like me and my friends, we were all so stoked to learn how to drive manual. And we actually did learn on my buddy Jeremy's Integra, which, that clutch definitely seen better days, because there was like 3 of us learning how to drive manual. And I remember so vividly that I always thought you give it gas, like a lot of gas, and then release the clutch. But in the grand scheme of things, you release the clutch slowly until it starts to grab, then you feed it gas. So Jeremy, I'm sorry about that clutch, and I'm also sorry about the other situation that happened, but we're squared away on that now, about 6 years later. So with my friend Shane getting the Mustang at the time, it kind of had me set sail towards getting one as well, because he had one, I wanted one. So at the time, I was in football for high school. I do kind of regret this decision in a way, because everything works out at the end, but I did quit football in 11th grade to go work so I could afford a Mustang. I definitely was a little bummed that I had to quit football, but it was time for me to start understanding the value of money, working for the things I wanted, and essentially struggling to get there. And that's kind of what this whole story is about. Ground zero to self-employed, I'm my own boss, and I want to show you guys and share my story because you can do it too. So fast forwarding a little bit, I was working at Jersey Mike's. I was making like $7.50 an hour. It was probably like 25, 30 hours a week, and at the time it really wasn't much, but it was at the same time, because I had no bills. I was living at home, and I was still in high school. So at high school, getting checks of $200 to $300, I felt pretty wealthy for my age. But long story short, I ended up selling my 1998 Dodge Dakota that I had at the time, and I actually sold it for more than what was invested into the vehicle. I think I got like $4,000 cash, and that was the journey of learning how to manage car payments, because I then got a loan for like $3,500, and that was the rest of the funds to get what you guys know as Bluetooth valve. So Bluetooth valve was my 1999 Mustang GT, and at the time there were no intentions on making an automotive channel whatsoever. I was actually doing YouTube, but it was a gaming channel, and it was filming skateboarding, because those are the things I kind of came up on. With having Bluetooth valve for about 2 months, maybe, I drove that car. The motor did get a rod knock, and the motor completely went, and the car sat for 9 months. So this brand new car to me at the time that I was so stoked on driving to school was no longer a thing, and I kind of forgot about it. Fast forwarding those 9 months, I did save some money. I got another loan, and we did order a motor that was a crate motor, and it was delivered. We took it to a shop, they installed it, got it dialed, and boom, Bluetooth valve was back. And around this time, I still didn't get introduced to the automotive industry / content side of things. And that was until one day, my friend Gordon was like, hey, let's go ahead and film my car. And at the time, I had no idea what he meant. Like, film a car? Like, it just didn't make sense. So I had this camera, and I had this tripod slider gimbal thingy. And, we went to one of these spots, and I just started recording on the slider, smooth pan shots. And, I put some music behind it, kind of went to the beat, and I posted it. after posting it, it got a couple hundred views, and that was like a drug to me because this is a channel that wasn't established at all, and a couple hundred people saw that video. That's when I packed up my bag. I went to the local car meets at the time, and I was filming random cars, and I do remember so vividly crowds of people like you had, you know, in the movies, your jocks, your punks, your goths. Like, it wasn't really like that, but you know, you had your crowd, your friend crowds, and I remember they were all looking and they were like, what is this dude doing? Put a video together, I released it, it started spreading a little bit, and the next video I posted got like 700 views. That's exactly the time I knew that the flame has started, and I'm gonna keep going with this. What really took off for me was attempting car reviews. You know, at the time it was one of those things on YouTube that was huge. Everybody was doing it, and that's essentially where you just get in a car, you give your honest opinion / review of it, and you post it, because whoever buys that car wants to see what other people think about it before they buy it. I mean, it's common sense. You do that for practically everything you go and purchase in life. What's going on, everyone? Derek here today, bringing you a 2008 C6 Corvette review. So I started the car reviews. I would do like one a week, and that really took things to another level, because instead of the 500 to 700 views we were getting for these like cinematic videos, these were getting thousands, like 5,000-6,000 views over the span of 2 to 3 months, which to me at the time was insane. I knew I was onto something there, and one day I was like, you know what? Let's go and introduce my 1999 Mustang GT Blue 2 valve, because what the fuck was that? No idea who that was. But yes, I remember making a video introducing Blue 2 valve, and you know, I just out of nowhere came up with the name Redo Blue, and that became like the backyard budget series build of this New Edge Mustang. What is going on, everyone? Derek here today, bringing you the first episode of Redo Blue. In this series, I'm going to be redoing my 1999 Bright Atlantic Blue Mustang GT from the wheels to the interior. And from that day forward, I figured I was onto something, and things just really did escalate. So with the Redo Blue series in full effect at the time, you know, we probably filmed 10 to 15 different episodes, and this was really the staple at the channel of the time, because you know, there was nobody else on YouTube doing it like me with a New Edge, and I think that's how I became like the New Edge guy on YouTube. Around that time with the New Edge content, you know, I feel like I was pulling a lot of New Edge guys. Obviously, because I had the New Edge, I was the only one doing content like that, and not to mention, I feel like my friend group and, you know, me just being me and just joking around all the time and putting that humor into it, not super serious videos like a lot of people try to make, but more of just like, hey, it kind of feels like you're there in the video with us, and I think people really like that. And you know, to this day, I still try to do that, like more of just like a kickback, relax with the friends, joke, you know, like everybody does with their friend group. So I think that definitely helped me, not definitely, I know for a fact it helped me really projectile, you know, into where I needed to be at the time. And as funny and as cliche as it is, like when they say when it's the right time, you'll know type deal, it was, because I remember like I was at 20,000 subscribers, still working at Jersey Mike's, still had Blue 2 valve only, no money at all. I had no money, but you know, I was still grinding. I was in the back of Jersey Mike's editing videos, posting them while at work, doing my thing, and you know, I just made do with what I had at the time. And it's just so bizarre now looking back that like one thing led to this, led to that, led to this, and now it's just like a snowball effect, because pretty much the premise of this video is just showing you all that I was that one person at one time that didn't get handouts. Like, my father and my mother really never understood what this YouTube shit was, because, you know, at Jersey Mike's still, that was my job. That was my income. I wasn't making shit from YouTube at 20,000 subscribers. I was probably making $300 to $400. You're not going to live off that. You're not doing shit with that. So, you know, at the time, like, they didn't understand what I was trying to do, and neither did I, because what I failed to mention is I was still in college, which were some dark days, that's for sure, because I knew the moment I signed up for college that this wasn't for me. I knew it. The minute I walked into that classroom, this was not going to end well. And I swear on everything to that. There was one day in class, I was sitting there just watching my teacher talk, and I was like, I'm not going to graduate. I'm not getting a diploma, a degree of any sort. I'm just not. But I still continued to sign up, to waste money, to go to class, knowing it wasn't going to work for me. And what's funny about that whole situation is I went to college, didn't get a degree, didn't get anything of that sort, wasted so much money, but at the end of the day, I met Romina in a college class, and then, after college, 5 years later, we're now getting married in 3 months, 4 months, which is, I'm telling you, when you're in the right spot, things happen when they're supposed to happen. Take it for what you will. I totally believe in that kind of stuff, and that was the only reason why I was supposed to go to college, because that is my soulmate, and I promise you on that. Not long after, the 20,000 subscriber, 30,000 subscriber mark, still at Jersey Mike's in college, I remember waking up one day and I had to sign up for classes. And I remember, I applied for these classes. I had them in my cart. I went to, sign up, and it actually denied me because I was on, an academic probation, because I was sleeping in class and skipping. I wasn't turning in work. I barely showed up. And that was kind of the string that was, that needed to be pulled for me to just really make a decision, because I had no choice. I was only taking 2 classes. That's all they allowed you to take on academic probation. So instead of full credits worth of classes, I was taking just 2. Didn't go well over the household, put it that way. And it was definitely a stressful time in my life because I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I just know that school wasn't it. It was not it. It just was not going to happen. I'm trying to think back on exactly what happened to where I stopped going to school, and what I think it was is I had posted a CarMax video. And those CarMax, I posted 2 of them. I posted one with my buddy Chris's car, which was my first viral video ever. It had 2.5 million views. And then I posted one with Blue 2 Valve, which was my second in line at the time, close to 1 million views. And I remember working at Jersey Mike's at $7.50 an hour, dropping, failing, whatever you want to call it, out of school, not getting a degree. We already knew that was established. But then I received a YouTube check of over $4,000 for the month. And I remember taking that stack of 4K and showing my dad, and he just, he didn't believe it. He didn't really understand, how the fuck did I get that money? But something with seeing that firsthand and experience that kind of money from posting videos, it was just this is it. I'm doing this shit. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to try to do this. And, we can fast forward a couple years of just working on content, posting videos with friends, and escalating up the ladder and, growing. God, I just remember after supercharging Blue 2 Valve and stuff, this was really when I was at 70,000. I remember I wasn't even at 100K yet. I was at 70K. With being at 70,000, I almost felt like I hit some sort of plateau to where I couldn't really do much anymore. And all my friends around me were getting 5.0s. Jordan started it off, really. My best friend, he got one. But there was Jacob, there was Chris Young. They all had 5.0s, and I was filming with them at the time, and I wanted a 5.0. And that's kind of around the time where I wasn't working at Jersey Mike's anymore, but I was doing YouTube part-time. I was making $1,000 a month, and then I was working at Discount Tire. No, excuse me. I was doing the social media marketing, the first round. I was making another $1,500 a month from that. So, I was making $2,500 living at home. I still had my bills, phone, insurance. I always paid that shit. I was never, telling you, I was never down bad. I was never down bad, but I wasn't oh, I'll take care of this, I'll take care of that. No, that's just a life lesson that my father and my mother wanted to teach me was, you want shit, you're gonna pay for it, you're gonna figure it out. So, I was doing okay though. I definitely wasn't struggling. And it was around that time where I got the job at Discount, and with getting the job at Discount, I was okay, new job, YouTube, I'm making a little bit of money. I'm going to go and sell the 2 Valve and get my Dream 5.0. Long story short, we made that happen. Sold the Blue 2 Valve, got the Coyote, and ever since that jump that everybody told me not to do in life, do not sell the 2 Valve, you will regret it, you will not be the same, you're changing, you're failing us, us 2 Valve guys won't rock with you anymore, everything under the sun, trust me, I've heard it all. but it was the best decision I ever made, because from there the trajectory just went up. Content was just so fun. I was definitely making some solid money, and COVID hit. Fast forwarding some more, COVID hit. And I remember so vividly that like we were laying people off at Discount Tire because it was just, you remember, the world shut down. So I was there for the longest out of some of those people. It was me and Jordan. We were there the longest out of everybody, pretty much. And me, Jordan, Trey. And they were cutting people that were there a shorter amount of time, so they were losing money. And I remember I was like, all right, if there's a time to try to do this shit full time, this is it. So I talked to my manager, Eric, and I was like, look, give me a month off. Just give me 1 month, and whatever happens after this, we'll figure it out, but just, I'm not going to work for a month. And he agreed, because it gave my hours to the other people that really needed, money. So that day I quit, the next day I started posting every single day. And from going to making $2,500 a month, no, actually it was less than that, because I was doing YouTube and I had the Discount Tire checks, which was only like $200 a week. So the social media marketing I was doing, I fucked that up. I blew it. That was a bad time in my life. I was lazy and blew it. But with making, you will say, $2,000 a month off of YouTube and Discount Tire, that first month of grinding and just trying new shit, we almost hit $10,000 for the month. It was probably, I won't say almost, it was a little over like 8,000 for the month, which $8,000, like, then again, it just drove me even harder. That was like, okay, I know for a fact I can do whatever I put my mind towards. Was there a little luck involved? There always is. There's always just a little bit of luck, but you can outwork the amount of luck you need by working harder and harder and seeing a vision and following through with it. And that's why I wanted to make this video, just because, this Dose of DBP YouTube channel, this is what it's about. It's about, setting goals and working with each other, coaching each other, motivating each other. Because truthfully, this world is yours, guys. It really is. And you know what? I'm going to be transparent with you. Define Social, my brand new social media marketing agency, I decided to do this off a whim because I got my mental state right. I started waking up at 5:30 every morning with Ben. I swear to God to this. And we were about 2 or 3 weeks in, and I felt I was at my absolute pinnacle of mental state, mental capacity, just feeling good, because physically I'm getting a workout in every day, I'm eating right, and something happens to your body when that page is flipped. I can't describe it. If you've been through it, you understand, but you just grasp life in a different way. And there's so many people out there that talk like this, and you're like, dude, you're just, no, like, truthfully, it's changed my life it's just wild, because I decided, okay, I'm going to get back into social media marketing. I set this plan out. I wrote it all down. I started executing. We just went live, and no joke, within the first week, I probably have $5,000 to $6,000 worth of work in a week. Like, that's just me putting my fucking shit in gear and just going for it and not letting anything stop me. So it's like, that on top of the YouTube, I'm trying to get back into merch big time. I'm trying to do this, that, and the other. Like, it's really given me a clear mental state, and I just wanted to share that message with you all, because if it's, something you want to do, you got to do things right. That doesn't mean give up everything and put your eggs in one basket. Like, I'm trying to teach myself that now, because this Define Social thing, like, I love this shit. But at the same time, I got to keep Derek Brand Productions going, and unfortunately during the winter, it's always been hard. It's like, don't get it twisted. I haven't stopped. It's just tough during the winter. There's only so much you can do and so much I can do. But instead of moping around, being depressed in the winter, and just waiting it out, kind of like a hibernation, I decided to make a fucking difference last year, and start executing a new form of revenue during those slow months. Still posting on Derek Brand Productions, but I'm truthfully not happy posting on there right now, because I'm just so bored because of the weather. There's not shit to do. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like just picking up the camera today, sharing the story with you all. If there's just anything I could give, piece of advice wise in life, stop being a pussy, man. For real. Stop being a pussy, because this life you can do anything you want. You really, really can, as long as it's like realistic and feasible. And another thing is just like, write it out, speak it into existence, because that is such a huge thing. Like, it flips the script when you just see something jotted down on your bulletin board. Like, it reminds you that what you got to do to make that happen. And I understand now how people become millionaires. I understand how people become wealthy and how they become, physically happy, like with their physical body. And it's just, I'm ready to take over 2023, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this little story, this little motivation. We got some new 9 to Grind merch coming, so if you're interested in getting a 9 to Grind merch, you guys know I don't make money off these videos, sadly. Maybe one day, put my mind to it, but yeah, I don't make money off the videos, so if you guys would want to purchase a 9 to Grind shirt, I think this is going to be the design right here. If you're interested, just drop a simple comment saying I'll cop one. The whole purpose behind 9 to Grind, 9 to grind. Instead of the 9 to 5, you clock in at 9 and you continue to grind, and it just never ends, because this is a group of people that want to go to the top, that want to change their life for the best and provide their future family with as many assets as possible to where life is good. So if you're one of those people that want to hop on this train with me, I can do more videos like this, showcasing more behind the scenes stuff. And we can make it happen, guys. We can make it happen together. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, drop a comment down below with your goals. I want to read everybody's goals. I just love doing that. It's awesome to me. And if you want to, reach out to Define Social, if we can provide you with some work, let's make it happen, man. Take your business to the next level in 2023, and have that mindset. Dig deep, find that mindset, and I promise you, great things will come. Y'all stay blessed, man. We'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Deuces.